what is going on with Bill Belichick? Now, we know he wasn't fired on Monday. We would have talked about that much earlier if he had been fired on Monday. So if you haven't been following this, the latest twists and turns of the Belichickian story, maybe not. Bill Belichick has declared something that was unexpected. He has essentially announced he is willing to give up his final edit on the movie, the Patriots movie every year, the GM duties, that he is willing to relinquish being the general manager of the Patriots, picking the players and having final say, but remain the head coach of the Patriots. Now, just to prove that I am not lying to you, that Belichick, who never says anything, intentionally actually did address this. Now, you'll hear the question and the answer. Here's Bill Belichick in a surprising back and forth with the assembled Patriot beat writers. Take a listen.
Wondering if you've given any serious thought to relinquishing the personnel, maybe some of the draft responsibilities.
Look, I'm for whatever, collectively we decide as an organization is the best thing to help our football team. I have multiple roles in that, and I rely on a lot of people to help me in those responsibilities. If somebody's got to have the final say, I have it. I rely on a lot of other people to help, and whatever that process is, I'm only part of it.
Okay, so that's big. But normally that would not be big, but this is big. This is Belichick. That's big. That's a big give back by Bill Belichick. He said, as you heard, he relies on people and whatever we collectively decide as an organization. So let us discuss. Bill Belichick, as you just heard, says that he is open to change. Open to change and losing his responsibilities as having final say on the player personnel department of the New England Patriots. Okay, so with that as a backdrop, what do you think his agenda is? What do you think Belichick's agenda is by announcing this on a Monday, the day after the Patriots got smoked by the Jets in a snow game? So I've got Keanu Reeves, Rubber Chicken, and Artisan. And we will combine all of these things together, and we're going to make a Dr. Pepper. Why not? I haven't had a Dr. Pepper in a while. I used to love Dr. Pepper back in the day. All right. To lead off, though, Bill Belichick, here's what this tells me. First thought I had is it tells me he desperately wants to stay with the Patriots. The idea that Belichick is looking to leave the Patriots, not true. That he wants to finish this thing out with the Patriots. He wants to coach his last game as a Patriot. He doesn't want to go wear the Carolina Panther uniform or the Falcons uniform now on the sidelines. Now, he'd be willing to do that if he has no other options, but he would prefer he just wants to coach. He just wants to be the guy who's the coach. That's what he wants. And that's the big takeaway from this. Because that was unexpected. The expectation is normally if you get demoted, and Bill Belichick, if he were to stay with the Patriots and lose his GM title, he would be demoted. Right? If you have a job and you're demoted, most people are like, go pound sand. I'm not going to do that. But here's Belichick offering to accept the demotion. Right? And he could have said, "Hey, listen, I'm the GM, I'm the coach. If I'm not the GM and the coach, then somebody else should be the GM and the coach. I'm out of here." But he didn't say that. He said the opposite. He could have said nothing. He normally says nothing. It's my way or the highway, or you say nothing. But he didn't do that. The fact that Belichick broke from his typical blah commentary, the Stonewall Belichick technique, is a revelation. It is a revelation by Belichick standards. Bill Belichick, he obviously has ulterior motives here. And when you take a couple of steps back and you think about what Belichick did by saying, hey, I'm willing to give up the GM duties, sneaky brilliant. Sneaky brilliant by Bill Belichick. And I'll tell you why. Because ulterior motives are rather obvious. What Belichick is doing here is he's putting all of the pressure on Robert Kraft, because Robert Kraft wants everyone to kiss his ass. You don't buy a sports team unless you want people to kiss your ass. It's the public trust, right? You want people to say how great you are. You brought a championship to your city and all that, and they want to hang out with you at cocktail parties because they get free tickets because you're important, right? But you make people smile. Robert Kraft, this is not 100%. It's very much the Belichick decision from the pulse of the people that I've gotten. It's like the electoral college in America. It's split, right? It's broken up, and there's pro-Belichick people that say you can't get rid of Belichick. There's anti-Belichick people that say he's washed up, he's an old geezer, get rid of him. But it's pretty close to 50-50, as bad as the Patriots have been. But this is a Keanu Reeves special. This is a classic remake. It's called Bill and Robert's Excellent Adventure, is what it's called here. And you got Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick's being the good cop. He's like, listen, I just want to stay here. I'm just a coach. That's all I am, is a coach. I just want to coach ball. That's what I want to do. I want to coach ball. And then you've got Robert Kraft on the other side who's like, well, I should bring in some new coach and all. But Belichick just wants to break Shula's record with the Patriots. He doesn't want to have to relocate and do all that nonsense. He's willing to swallow his pride. That's a big thing. Now the ball has been pushed into the court of Robert Kraft. You want to be the guy who lets go the greatest coach in NFL history? When he's willing to concede that he will give up the GM duties, you want to be that owner? You are to let Tom Brady go, and Brady went out and won a championship, and you let him go. Now you're going to let Belichick go somewhere else? What if he goes out and sticks it to you, sticks a dagger and wins somewhere else? All right, furthermore, now there's another story brewing coinciding with the Belichick revelation where Belichick announces, like, listen, I'm willing to give up the GM duties. Another name has popped up associated with the Patriots. What do you make of the chatter? And Josh McDaniels, I'm told by one of my guys in Boston, McDaniels was at the Jets-Patriots game on Sunday, but his name tossed out as a candidate to return to New England. Who could have seen this one coming if Bill Belichick remains as the head coach? So Belichick would be demoted. He would bring back Josh McDaniels as the offensive guru. So what do you make of Josh McDaniels' name coming up in a return to New England? So McDummy, in this part of the story, McDummy is a rubber chicken. Okay, he's a rubber chicken. It's all part of the plan. It is all part of the plan. Now, my moles tell me that Josh McDaniels, he's been schmoozing up Belichick. Obviously, he showed up to the final game there, which is odd because he's still getting paid by the Raiders. He doesn't need the money. He's still getting paid for the next couple of years by the Raiders, but he wants to be in the arena, and now you get back in the arena. Here's the issue, though. The reason he's the rubber chicken, he's like a prop. Belichick's the prop comedian, and he's using the rubber chicken, the Josh McDaniels rubber chicken, as a prop comedian would, pulling it out of the hat there. McDaniels' name, am I wrong in saying he's sullied in 31 NFL cities, but in one city, he's the golden boy? I think I'm right in that. Hey, if just pick around. If Seattle hired Josh McDaniels as their offensive coordinator, would anyone get excited in Seattle? No. If the Tennessee Titans said, we're going to bring in Josh McDaniels, would you be? No. The Patriots is like, wow, this guy, he knows what he's doing. Only if he's following around Bill Belichick. And so you've got the double dose here, the daily double for Robert Kraft. You've got Bill Belichick, who's going to humble himself, no longer be the GM, and bring back Josh McDaniels, who everybody loves, as the offensive coordinator. Your move, Robert Kraft, your move. What are you going to do? And if Robert Kraft really wanted to fire Belichick, why wouldn't he have just done it on Monday? Let's get it out of the way. Get it over with. Move on. He didn't do it. So that tells me there's a chance. There's a shot that Belichick remains as coach of the Patriots. Now, parting shot, we head to Jersey. I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat right now. More chatter about the Jets putting on a full-court press this offseason for Davante Adams. Where have we heard this rumor before? A few months ago. Anyway, so does the new speculation regarding the Jets' interest in making a move to acquire Raiders wide receiver Davante Adams, does that have legs? Yes, it has two legs. It has two legs. Well, we know that Davante Adams is a smitten kitten with Aaron Rodgers and vice versa. There's a mutual admiration society, so we know that. And in general, I'm just nodding my head yes to the idea that Davante Adams to the Raiders will pop up multiple times. I will be doing many MALLER monologues in late February, March, April, before the NFL draft about Davante Adams. But the reason that this does have legs, and it's a little different than your normal rumor, is because there's some scheming going on behind the scenes. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, we know the whole besties thing with Adams and Rodgers, but here's my evidence. You've got Garrett Williams, who's entered the chat, or Garrett Wilson, who's entered the chat, and he is the numerical artisan in this story, which is appropriate. We had a story earlier that a Jets player was 6 yards away from 1,000, Breece Hall. The Jets took him out of the game 6 yards away from 1,000 because, according to Robert Saleh, he claimed the team mathematician screwed up and they thought he had crossed 1,000. That's what he said. But Garrett Wilson is his own numerical artisan because he announced that he has changed numbers, going back to his old college number, from number 17 to number 5. Now, why does that matter with Davante Adams? I'll tell you. Because that opens up the door for Davante Adams to wear number 17. You say, well, who cares? Who cares what his number is? You know who cares? The players care. That's who cares. But wait, there's more. Garrett Wilson of the Jets liked a social media post that said Davante Adams would take the number 17 with the Jets. The Illuminati is working overtime.